Welcome to Roxtalks, the podcast that helps network marketers grow their business on social media. And it is the second most wonderful time of the year.
Woo!
You know why? Yeah. It's
Why?
Wait, who are you?
I'm Taryn, your social media sidekick. Who are you?
I'm Roxanne.
Oh, okay.
The host of, I think I already say that, but I didn't give you a chance to say something. So I just wanted we're working through it. By the way, love your feedback on the podcast. We'll get to that later, but lots of yay Taryn. So I think that's fantastic. Yay Taryn. So today I mentioned it was the second most wonderful time of the year for me, for you, for everyone listening, because this is the time of year that we talk about like the basics, the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s of being a network marketer and using social media. And today we're going to dive into what that looks like, what that feels like, and how you can find out some more information to get you on the road and on the path to your greatness. We'll be right back. Hey, Taryn.
Hey, Roxanne.
Guess what's coming up on March 1st?
Our birthday month.
You know what? That's actually true. It is our birthday month, which is so exciting.
But that is less than what we really are here to talk about today.
Correct. Truth. Which is the Social Media for Network Marketers Summit, 3rd annual. How many people, I wonder, listening, I wonder how many people came to the first two?
Yeah.
Probably a bunch.
I was there.
You were there. That's kind of like where we first met, was you working on the summit. And now look at you. Now look at us. The Social Media for Network Marketers Summit is coming up, and we'll talk a little bit more about it in a bit. But really, it's for anyone who just feels like, golly, this Instagram thing should be doing more for my business. I'm not real. I'm kind of just coasting. I'm kind of doing reels. I danced. I did a story. I'm posting, but I'm not feeling the zhuzh. I'm not feeling the goodness. If you're that person, the summit is definitely for you. And one of the things I love about the summit is we revamp it, and because social media revamps, we revamp it every single year to really be targeted towards the network marketer. So if you're someone who wants to advance in title, if you're someone who wants to earn an incentive trip, by golly, you get yourself there, whether it's Palm Springs or Cabo or anywhere in between. Or if you want to increase your sales, you just want that paycheck to get a little bit higher each month, then you need to join us at the Social Media for Network Marketers Summit. It's free to be there, and it will be very transformational. That's all I'm going to say on it now, but simply go to the website, which is socialnetworkmarketers.com. Just kidding.
Social Network Marketers Summit.com.
Oh, that summit thing's very important. See, thank you.
It is.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh boy. All right, so we're diving into it. And, Taryn, I do feel like February, this time of the year, February, March, that first quarter is this time where we can reboot. I know we spend January saying these are our resolutions, these are not our resolutions. And you and I like to let's define and live our word, which we've talked about this year, which I think is fantastic. But now it's time to get into gear. And 3.5 years ago, actually, I had this idea that I wanted to put together an opportunity for network marketers just to get all the info they need to get when it comes to social media in one spot. And I think in addition to the podcast, obviously that's a weekly thing, but I think it came from the fact that, social media kept moving and grooving, and so many network marketers are still living in circa before 2017, doing all of the things on Facebook and the gram that felt right back then. That we have to remember, Facebook is the Zucks. While he might be to some people kind of yuck, he knows what he's doing. And he does. He figures things out. I think network marketers for a long time, had the number of, this is how we work social media to get in front of people's faces. And we didn't realize that all that data being collected, they realized it and they didn't like it and they changed it. And we still try and act like we're still circa pre-2017.
I still see the posts.
Tell us more. What do you mean? What are the posts?
So the post that you look at it, you can tell it's instantly a sales post. The caption is about their product, but doesn't really give you a reason why you should get it. It's not presenting a solution. It's just like, here it is. And there's no way I would even want to engage with it. And I will say, these don't actually show up on my feed anymore. I search them out when I am looking for our ideal audience. When I'm looking in our hashtags, when I'm doing our hashtag research for our account, I find these and it's crickets over there.
Look at that. I hope you heard that. And if you're someone saying, wait, I do those posts, I think they work. You might want to look and see who is liking and commenting on them, if anyone. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm trying to be real. Like we spend so much time on social media, and I want the time that you spend on social media to be something that is actually working for you, for your business. It's not checking a box. Well, doing a post is not checking a box. Like if you do it, just check a box and you grab someone's post that someone else did, or they shared in some like group and you're like, oh, that's amazing. That's not the way. That's not the answer. That's actually considered spam. And Instagram and Facebook, they realize that every time something is posted that's pretty much the same thing, they downgrade it. If all you're getting is engagement or interaction from people who are in your business, who are in your company, then you're wasting your time, and your time is precious, and ain't nobody got time for that. And you don't have time for that. I know you don't.
I am all about my little projector self, which someday we will tell you what that means. If you know, you know.
You know.
I am all about being efficient and doing something not just for the fact of being quick, but I know like why I'm doing it. I'm going to get in there, do it, be strategic, and get out. So that's the same way I think about when I look at social media as a tool to grow your business. Like we don't need to be in there all day, but you don't also want to just like get in, post, ghost. Like you want to be very strategic about what you're doing. And that's exactly why we're putting on a summit, to teach people this. This is something that isn't just taught when you join your network marketing company.
It's not at all. And really, one of the main reasons I decided to stop working my network marketing business and start coaching was because I got so frustrated with people just throwing up a bunch of garbage, spaghetti on the wall, and they're thinking that it was okay. And for me, I didn't want to just help the company I was with. I wanted to help the entire industry because I love network marketing. I love network marketers. I think there's so much value in it. But we do some things that give us a bad rap, and we do some things that are a waste of time. Like you said, who has time for that? And so I don't know how many of you have been to summits beyond the Social Media for Network Marketers Summit, but summits, well, you don't know where I'm going. Well, no. This is like summits have, because they got so popular over the last few years, people often use summits as, oh my goodness, I want to get in front of other people's audiences. And so you might find if you're on a summit, you start getting like, it's more about, people have summits where they have 35, 55 people in a summit, or stupid amounts of people in summit. I said it. I said what I said. And I always look at those and I think to myself, okay, so you're in front of a bigger audience and a list, but I'm just curious, who is going to watch 66 presentations? Who's going to watch 33 presentations? Who has time for that? They don't.
I know we're home. A lot of us are still home, but we don't have time to watch 66 presentations.
No,
about there's random things that just touch the surface.
Exactly. And so I think that I'm like the anti-summit in some ways, because I don't do this summit to grow my list in the sense of, hey, I want to get as many people who are speaking at my summit as possible so I can get in front of their audience. That's not my deal. That's not my jam. I tell the guests that straight out. I'm looking for, and the other thing I'm not doing, which makes it also an anti-summit summit, is I find that when people bring together network marketing like experts, they only bring network marketers. They don't want to invite anybody else from any other industry, which I think is so small-minded, because if we're going to act like we're a business, and we're a business channel, we have to realize that there are online marketers and people who have some really great ideas. They just need to be filtered through the network marketing lens. And I am that filter. And so you're going to find there's some people at the summit that are big deals in their area that you've never heard of. Why? Because you're in network marketing. but everyone who's coming to the summit this year and all years really have been vetted, and their techniques and their things, they totally work. And I tell you guys this because I've applied and used them. And then again, I zhuzh it for the network marketer, and then we're going to learn from them. Wouldn't you say, like, did I put that well? I hope I did.
Yeah. Yeah. To complete your thought on that, we take a lot of consideration who we bring to this summit, because our goal is not how other summits might run of trying to get more and more people onto our list.
Right.
And when we think about it that way, we're coming from a place of we just literally want to serve, period. Like, that's okay. So, Jane Doe, just pulling a name here,
I thought
might
that was a real
not
name.
speak directly to network marketers. So her audience isn't going to necessarily align with us, but her content aligns with our audience. So that's why we bring these people in. And I'm super excited because we actually limited the number of people we brought this year too. We cut down.
We totally did. And I think it's a great thing. The other thing is to each one of these people help amplify or magnify strategy that I teach. If you're in social stories, that I teach you, that you're working through the blueprint on how to be successful in social media for the network marketer. It is different. The skills they have are awesome, but I don't want you to think, okay, it's the same as everyone else. It's not. You guys know that because we have a stigma. Let's be honest. Oh, are you an MLM? Oh, are you a PS?
Pyramid.
You said it. I just did initials.
Sorry. Is that like Voldemort where you're not supposed to say it?
I don't think we should. Yeah. I mean, it's officially Voldemort. Yeah. That's okay. It's all good. But I think.
Sorry, guys.
She did it. That neighborhood MILF, she did it. But I think that as a result, there are some things, and I know if you've ever sat there and gone, how come that influencer it's okay that she says that, but I can't say that because she's an influencer and you're a network marketer. Is it fair? No. But mama always said life ain't fair. It's not fair. You just need to be with someone who understands and knows how to work through those moments. How, in spite of the gray day that's lonely, you're going to pick up your chin and grin and say, the sun will come out tomorrow because I got you. And the summit has you in a big way. Should we talk about who's going to be at the summit? What do you think?
Well, yes, because one's popping in my head right now. I'm just going to talk about what the talk is going to be about.
Okay,
it's
cool.
Literally taking the trends that we're seeing on Instagram and how you use them as a network marketer, because you're not going to use them the same way as an influencer would. And I'm so excited for this one. Like, this one is going to be on the last day, kind of a little grand finale. It's the meat and potatoes.
It's the meat and potato. I think it sounds like it's the dessert. Are you talking about it's the live one?
No.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. I'm really excited about that one. I'm super excited about that one. Like, can I say who it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess
Maisha Dibble, right? Okay. Dibble.
Yes.
Okay. So Maisha is someone that I have to tell you, like, I might have a little girl crush on her, honestly. I always knew about her because she was the first African-American to hit the tippy tip top at Rodan Fields, which is not easy to do for anyone, but it's amazing. First and only PSM, by the way. And we were always like I knew of her. I was like the first African-American to hit certain milestones, but she hit those others. So everyone we knew were like, oh, do you know each other? And I'm like, I know of her, but I've never had actually met her. And then I had the great pleasure and I respected her for sure. I had the great pleasure of interviewing her a couple months ago for a talk that she did on social media trends. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she is everything that I hoped she was and more. So and what I think you're gonna love about her is she rocks her Instagram. And y'all, she doesn't have 20,000, 10,000 followers. What she does though, she really leans into the trends, and she's worked, and she is still network marketing. She's found a way to use those trends to really rock her business. So I'm really excited for you to meet her, to get to know her. Yeah. Have you been looking at her reels? They're great, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
I have. Yes. My gosh. You know, we all need someone to look up to get some inspiration, and that's her.
I love that one. That's a really good one. That's so good. I mean, there's so many great ones. You heard Talia Elena Hernandez on the podcast. What, 2 weeks ago? Last week? 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. She's going to be there, and I have to tell you, she also came into Social Stories, and she what I love about her, she uses her words. She literally went through, I don't know how many different Instagram accounts, and it's like this, change this. Okay, that content, blah, 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 blah. Like from a copywriter stance, it was really good. I mean, she's a 6-figure marketing copywriter, so she kind of knows what she's talking about.
She definitely knows what she's talking about. So we snagged her. We're like, hey, we need you for one more thing. Like, come here and spread your knowledge. So she'll be there.
Yes.
I'll be there.
We're going to be there. I was wondering if you're like, I thought that's what you were going to be most excited about, but you didn't say it. So
no, I'm not, but that's okay.
It's going to be amazing. So Taryn,
it is going to be amazing.
What are you going to be talking about?
Hashtags. So how, like, beginner's guide to hashtags. So we talked about it on the podcast episode a few back, and I'm going to bring that into more of a deep dive session. So that'll be really good. I'm excited for that.
Do you know that I have to tell you, I love when you guys send feedback about the podcast, and I got feedback from the wonderful, her name's Amy Kathleen, and she was talking about hashtags and how great that podcast was. And she also said she's so excited to have you on the podcast. She loves having you and hearing you on the podcast.
Yay!
Yes, and by the way,
thank you. So sweet.
Yeah. So Amy Kathleen, thank you for that. But she was like, I totally get that. She asked some questions I think you're going to cover. So Amy Kathleen, just know your questions will be covered at the summit. So everybody needs to come.
So we'll see you there.
Yes. We can't, how can we go any further without mentioning the wonderful and talented Megan Summerall, who will be there? Obviously, is one of the only speakers who's been at every single summit I've done. Not a surprise. She's my business bestie, but
yes. But she brings it. That's why we keep bringing her back, because the things she shares are things we don't all naturally think about. So she's going to be covering, like, how the heck do you find time to post all of these things? Like, how do you manage different accounts and, different posting schedules? And she's going to talk about her tips for that.
Yes. All the things. So that's just like, I guess we could go further. DeSola Davis is going to be there. Y'all, she's amazing. And she's going to remind you, she's going to talk about the customer journey, which I know that sounds kind of odd, right? Customer journey. What the heck does that mean? But she's going to help you define the journey that your customer is taking during social media. So you can look at that. I think that one of the reasons we as network marketers post such crap is because we don't think about the customer. We think about ourselves and what our goals are.
We think about the end sale.
Exactly. And that we need it right now.
The journey that they got to even get there.
Exactly. And so she's going to bring it back home for you in a really powerful way. Oh, you know what, Taryn? I was just thinking. She spoke to the Social Stories members last year, and she and I did a role play that is the funniest thing ever. I got to find it, and we need to make a reel out of it. It's hilarious.
Yes. Okay. Yes, writing it down.
Yeah, because I've been meaning to do that now for about 9 months and I haven't. But it will it's hilarious. Just a role play of like a network marketer and a customer and DMs. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, so yes. We need this. This needs to be out in the world.
So good. One of the things I want to let you know is that when you think about the summit this year, we really wanted to make it targeted those people who are either in a social media rut, or have never really truly thought about a strategy for your social media when it comes to network marketing, or someone who's new to network marketing and is like, okay, now what do I do with my social media? So this is not for the advanced person. I'm telling you right now, if you're one of my Social Stories members listening and you are rocking it and you're on that CEO level, the summit's not for you. And I was like, what?
I know.
It's not. It's not. Well, you know what's for you. Social stories is for you. You're fine there. And we give you
Exactly.
we give you beginning, intermediate, and advanced knowledge inside of social stories. This is for the person who doesn't have a strategy. And
Mhm.
I think what makes this summit different from the other two is that this one is, I'm really giving like my strategy,
You,
what I
you are.
use and I teach like completely, and know that
Mhm.
everyone speaking is, it's not strategy, but I'm gonna give you the complete blueprint to how to build your business with social media as a vehicle towards that.
Mhm. Yeah, when we were talking about how we were going to position it this year, I came to you with the idea. I'm like, I think we give away the blueprint.
I was like, what? Wait, what? Huh? Excuse me?
Yeah. So we broke it down. There's different levels within the blueprint. Come to the summit and you'll see. And all our speakers are strategically put into like what level that they're talking on. So we didn't want to hold back, and we wanted to be very specific this year too. So in the years past, we talked about YouTube, we talked about Pinterest, we kind of talked about everything.
Mhm.
And I try to avoid the word overwhelm, but I think we overwhelmed people with all the knowledge. It's like it was so juicy, but then you're like, well, what do I do
What do
with
I do
it? Like
now?
there's so many
I need to do
things.
all the things. Yeah. I think she's
Mhm.
frozen, everybody.
Being
There she is.
specific. Me? Did I
Yeah,
freeze?
you were like a robot for a second. What was that you said?
I don't know. I said we're just being very strategic and specific on what we're delivering at the summit this year and honing you guys in. So that way, when you are through the summit, you're like, I know what to do.
Yes, that's the goal. The I know what to do. And you know what's so funny? I love that we're talking about this today because we officially opened the doors to the summit yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately people started up, which I know, like you guys sign up every year. You guys are amazing. But to see the names come through, I'm like, it's really exciting.
It is. I'm going to be doing a daily check now. So I checked this morning and I'll start putting it in our little Slack channel so we can celebrate who is taking that next big step in their business and just taking their power of social media back.
Yes. And who's going to be transformed? Know that we think about, like, I look at the names, Tara looks at the names, we're excited. And I'm like visualizing you and the transformation you're going to get. So this is going to be phenomenal. I do want to say one more thing. For those who are like, well, she said it's not for me. Time to make the donuts. Eeyore, listen, Linda's, and hey, Linda, I see you. Here's the thing. You know someone who needs this. It could be your upline who is just like, oh my gosh. It could be the new person you just recruited to your team. It could be a friend of yours who's like, I'm doing it now. I'm doing 31 gifts. I'm doing whatever. Invite them to come. It is free, PS. And by the way, to come to the summit and to get a bunch of value and some action steps to work. So just think about this. It's March 1st through the 3rd. So by the 4th, you are going to have a plan. You're going to have vision on well, really by the 3rd, really I think after day 1, you're going to feel pretty good. But you're going to have this total vision and understanding of where your business is going to go and how social media is going to help you get there. I mean, I think that's a great way to roll into March personally, which is the second best month of the year.
Month of the year. Agreed.
Best to Christmas. Yeah, to December. I mean, it just is. So there it is. Anything else you'd add, Taryn the Great?
Yes. One thing I would add, I know sometimes like in network marketing, if you're getting invited to an event, you're like, oh, like, am I getting recruited for another company? Or like, I had someone ask me that once when I was inviting them the first year. And I was like, this is not about that. All network marketing companies can come, you can make connections. Heck, you don't have to make connections if you don't want to. If you just want to sit there, watch the trainings, off you go, that's fine too. But this is not about recruiting into your company. We're all here to learn about social media. That's it.
I'm so glad you said that because that's a really good point. And people are like, are you going to recruit my team? No, I got nothing to recruit you to. I mean, when it comes to network marketing company, do I want to work with you more? Absolutely. If you find that we jive, great. We can like continue this connection. But as for am I trying to entice you to be in a company? I love all companies equally, quite frankly. And I kind of feel like I'm part of all network marketing companies. I do. I really feel that way. I do.
Yeah.
I do. So I love all my network marketing companies equally. Love all my children equally.
I have one final thought.
Yes.
And we need to talk about what else we're doing new this year is the 2 live panels. So everything else is pre-recorded. You can watch it, throughout the day that it's available. But then we are sneaking in 2 live panels. One day it's people who have worked with you in the past, Roxanne, who are taking the strategy you've taught and putting it into real life, and they're going to share their results so we can see like, yes, this works, or ask them questions, dig into their brain a little bit. And then the second day, we're going to have just a panel of experts sitting there talking about social media and how to use it for your business. So we're bringing, I think the one panel is 5, one panel is 4, and you guys can show up live and ask them questions, whatever you want.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Yes. And the day 3 will also be, or the second panel, I should say, we'll also talk about like anything that's been changing in real time, because it happens in social media. So you do not want to miss those. Please, we'd love for you to ask us questions. And you're going to learn a lot. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's not going to feel like a training. Training's like, wah, wah, training. None of that. Even the sessions I think are fun personally. I'm in each.
They're fun.
They're great. You'll love them.
I mean, you're hosting them. So
I am. I'm like, I'm in every one of them. I like them. So
if you guys are having a good time listening to us, then think about even juicier at the summit. So if you made it this far, thank you for listening. We know you're coming. We can't wait to see you and hang out and have a good time and just kick off March full speed ahead.
Amen to that. Social media. No, I did it wrong.
You did it wrong.
Social Network Marketers Summit.com. It's been the same link for 3 years. You think I'd have it memorized by now. Yeah. Social Network Marketers Summit. So there's 2 S's next to each other.com.
And it is in the show notes. So we will get it correct down there. Just click it. Yes. You'll get there.
And it'll be on all websites that have anything attached to me. You'll find it there as well too.
Yes.
Let's roll into behind the scenes. Wait, hang on. Did you hear that?
It came really loud and then really quiet.
Right. Time for behind the scenes. I have my laugh track. I'll get it.
Come back in a month. We'll have it down.
I could really just label these things and then it would probably help.
Yeah. Or we have a video editor and a sound editor. They could just put it in.
Oh yeah. But there's something great about me just doing. They like that idea. Okay. So it is the 3rd. Do you know what today is?
Thursday.
Okay. Well, that's also true, but even more important, it's the first day of the Olympics.
I did not know.
You didn't know. Everyone knows. Like, how do you not know?
Sorry.
Wow.
I don't. Okay. I live in a household with 2 tiny little things that rule everything. Okay. So I don't really watch TV very much.
Back that statement up. I became a lover of the Olympics when I was about the age of your kids. It was a thing that my family would watch. And I'm telling you, that's how they like fall in love with it. I'm sure they haven't watched figure skating or all the skiing and all the there's so much for them to see.
We will watch it. I'll say that we will watch it. So don't be too appalled, but I won't know it's happening literally until it's on tonight. And then I'll be like, oh,
look, the Olympics. And honestly, the opening ceremonies and the closing are my least favorite. Mm. Just because I like the competition.
Oh yeah. How did are you
surprised? Yeah. So they've started officially. They were live at 3:30 this morning. And honestly, I didn't, which I should have got. I was up. I should have done it, but I didn't. But I'm ready now. I'm a little bit, I'm getting I don't know what day it is anymore. I don't know because I took Tuesday and I went and did the brand photo shoot.
Yes. This brand photo shoot that we've been teasing you guys about happened.
It happened
at a crime scene. True facts.
True crime. Do you guys remember a couple weeks ago I told you about the whole craziness with Nordstrom and all that happened there with getting with the personal shopper gone wrong? I was actually talking to Megan this morning and I said, if I was someone who was like a negative Nelly or didn't believe that things were going to work out, I probably would have been like, forget this, I'm out. Because at 4:59 the night before, mind you, Scott and I and Baylor got on the road at like 6 something in the morning. I get a text message from the makeup artist who was supposed to be there for like 4 hours, making sure the makeup looked right and all that stuff, saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I might be 30 minutes to an hour late. Because I have to go get a COVID test because I'm doing some production thing. And that's the only time I get my test done." I'm like, excuse me? Because you have to understand that everything is timed. Like we had the space for a certain amount of time and we had to be out of it. All of these, the photographers starting at a certain time. And I'm like, wait, what?
She kicks off everything. So if she was late, everything
domino
would be late.
Effect of craziness. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, dude, what did you say to me? Wait, what? So we go back and forth a little bit. I'm trying to get clarity, make sure I understand these text messages. Kids these days have a conversation. Anyhow, so I reached out to the photographer and I was like, I got bad news for you. This is now after 5:00 p.m. I said, just want to let you know that the time, like, this is what happened. And I was trying to be positive about it. I'm like, so the timing may not be perfect tomorrow. And she wrote me back and she was like, we can work through this. Do you want to get a new makeup artist or do you want to contact the locations if you push back the time? And I sat there and, I sat there for 5 seconds because I'm clinic authority girl. And I was like, new makeup artist. She was like, I said, but can we find one that soon? She said, hang on. So meanwhile, I'm messaging with Taryn on the other side and this crazy makeup artist who's doing me wrong. Like that's not professional. And then my photographer, Brittany, her name is Brittany Jean.
She's amazing.
She's amazing. She wrote back and said, good news. I have someone who's done my makeup and other shoots. She's amazing. She's my go-to. She had a cancellation tomorrow morning. She can come. I was like, yes. I didn't even know how much. I'm like, yes. Oh, by the way, how much is it? I don't care. Okay. So, and she was able to come and stay with me for 4 hours, which also was so good. Note tip Taryn, always have them stay like that. Just like she used me up, all the things, extra lipstick here. She was fantastic. And she loved music as well too. In fact, I just posted a story yesterday. You see the dancing one at the end, the person singing is her, not me. And I love it.
It is. I thought maybe I was like, was that Scott?
That's her singing, which is I'm like, okay, awesome. So, but here's the other thing, insult to injury, just like the fact that Nordstrom woman never responded, never said sorry, I've never heard back from, this woman. I said, you know what, given everything and the time crunch to the bad makeup artist, I said, you know what, I think we're just gonna need to cancel and I'd like you to send me my refund. And she was like, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then she said, but I don't think it should be a full refund because I could still make it. I just may not be there on time. In what world is that okay? I'm sorry. Like, excuse me, what?
Done. There was no, I'm sorry. Done. I understand.
She blamed it on COVID, actually. She said, COVID's just messing up our business. Really?
I'm like, you can get a test anytime.
Well, and even you cannot tell me she did not know until 4:59. Like she knew. She waited to the last minute. That is the thing.
I mean, that part I don't know. I don't know for sure, but the way it was handled, it wasn't professional. And keep in mind, it's 8:00 my time. I'm in Eastern. And so all of a sudden I'm seeing all these messages come through and I'm like, how am I supposed to try to figure out how to find someone else or like contact all these people to push these times back? And it was interesting.
It was. And when she did this, I don't think it should be a full refund. I was like, I channeled my older sister who is like a force. And my older sister says, she says this thing like, I'm going to give him a chance to delight me and to do the right thing. And I said that to you. I was like,
we were on the phone at this point. We elevated it quickly to a phone call.
Got escalated for sure.
Roxanne and I, while we were texting.
And I was like, Taryn, I'm going to give her a chance to like delight me and do the right thing. I ignored her whole, like, it shouldn't be a full refund. I gave her my information. She actually did fully refund me. So we didn't even quibble. Like, I'm not taking the bait to argue with you there. Anyhow, all that to say, we get in the car that morning. I could barely sleep. We get in the car and we end up driving through Skid Row, which I'd only seen on TV. I've never been to Skid Row before. And I'm like, what's going on? Like all of a sudden we're driving and there's this person in the street telling us to detour like, I'm like, is this fake? Is this when they do a detour and then all of a sudden these like, it just seemed fake. So we make this turn and all of a sudden we're on Skid Row. I'm like, what is happening? Scott's like, we're on Skid Row. We're on Skid Row. I'm like, which I'd never seen before. And it really was heartbreaking.
It's hard.
It was so heartbreaking. I was just like, wow. It was so sad. We get to the place, which is a block from Skid Row. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I'm so glad Scott's with me. I'm so glad Scott's with me. We get there early. It's fine. We get in there when we can. The loft was beautiful, but you look out the window and you see people like literally doing drugs on the street. I look down, I'm like,
this is a vibe. We found this space and it didn't mention any of the views that we would have. You know, we just strictly looked at the space and we're like, well, next time.
You didn't even get the address till after. So like, I was like, wow. I'm like, what do they do? Oh, I know what they're doing down there. Okay. So anyhow, I mean, I think I know, but Scott confirmed, not that he's ever done drugs either, but we could tell. It was like, he's like, yes, I was watching that. Well, I'm like, oh my gosh.
But seen Netflix. That's what it is.
The venue was like, it all ended up working out. We got in and we got out. I mean, I was like, I'm not kidding. I would have been concerned going from my car, just me with my dog alone, like with all my stuff. It would have been like, it just didn't feel safe, but inside it was fine. So we leave and then we go to we're at the Hotel June. Thank you, Hotel June. And we did shots there, which it was a beautiful space and they were so nice. And we did shots in the lobby and in the front area and in the pool. I'm not gonna lie, I was tired. I fast and I guess fasted the whole, I think I did a 24-hour fast on accident. Yeah.
Roxanne.
Well, listen, Linda, I was like, oh, I'll eat like a energy bar or something and it just never happened. But
I saw that on the list of things to pack.
They were packed. Scott had one. They were packed. I did have champagne. So I guess I did not have a 24-hour fast because the Moet was opened and I had some champs. So we get in the car when it's all said and done, like 4-ish, maybe close to it. Mm-hmm. And 4 or 5. Yeah. The long day, we get in the car. We were like, we'll eat here. I'm like, no, let's just get home. We'll eat. And I told Scott, I'm like, you did such a good job. Cause this is not his area of expertise at all. So I was like, you pick the place to eat. We're gonna eat. We dropped off Baylor cause she was pooped. And as we're driving home, I'm like, I'm curious about how much does that apartment cost? I just wonder how much that apartment cost. Cause it was an apartment. I thought it was going to be like a loft that someone owned and was renting out. Realized someone lives there. So in LA, people live in these places and they make them look like showrooms or like places for photo shoots. And they just rent out their space during the day. It's an interesting phenomenon. Anyway, I look up the name of the apartment complex. I won't tell you the name. And all of a sudden, you know, when you type in Google, I've typed in the name and you know how Google like suggests things for you?
Yeah.
It said hostage. And then it said like LAPD SWAT or something. I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like, Scotty's like, what? So I opened up this article only to find that there was some guy went on a major crime spree in October, PS, and by the way, of 2021, and was shooting people, was doing all these things, tried to hijack a car. And then what he did was he ran into this apartment complex, held a woman hostage inside of her home, y'all.
In this building you were in.
In the building I was in. I don't even know if it's could have been the same. I don't know. And because there's these large windows, people in the apartment complex or the condos across, they were watching us, looking to see what we're doing. They were taking videos. Like you can see videos online of what was happening. And he's like dragging her, bless her heart, from room to room with a gun to her head. Oh my gosh. So the SWAT comes in. SWAT comes in. They barge in. Like they got all these calls, emergency from everyone saying, oh my gosh. They barge in and they take him down, never to wake up again, inside of the house. Because of course, I mean, they thought he was going to harm her and he's been
harming other people.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, wow. That's where I was. That's amazing.
Thank God you found that out after.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about it.
Can you imagine the vibe you would have felt there? We probably would have just canceled it. Like that should There should maybe be a disclaimer on the site that we booked from. I'm just saying, like,
did
no
anyone
bad
get
blood.
held up hostage or did anyone get killed? I'm just let me know.
Yeah.
All in
Like when
all,
you're
though,
buying a house, they kind of got to tell you that
They
stuff.
do,
You should
yeah,
know that
like-
when you're booking a photo shoot. That's blood, by the way, not ketchup. Lord.
all that to say, they needed our good vibes that came in there because we brought it down. The pictures are going to be amazing. I'm so excited. And I have a great story to tell.
You have like multiple great stories with this whole process. It has
Oh my
been, it has been amazing. These photos are going to be amazing. Working with Brittany was awesome.
It was amazing.
We'll be
And
working with
Trinity,
her
who is
again.
yes, and Trinity, the makeup artist, like made me look like a better version of me as opposed to like, who is that girl? And I think that's what you want for makeup, or I did for this. Does that make sense? Like,
No.
well, you can go like the makeup route where you're just so made up that someone doesn't necessarily recognize you.
Yes,
or
I
she
get
just
I get it.
enhanced me.
She just brought everything out and made you shine.
And it just, I felt beautiful. And that's how you
You
want to
looked beautiful.
feel. Yeah, thank you. So, I mean, it was fantastic. But like I said, anyone who was like bad omens, bad vibes would have canceled the whole thing and wouldn't have been able to like, listen, it all worked out well. All of it. It actually, I'm going to say this right now, was worked out exactly how it was supposed to be. I was exactly where I was supposed to be. And it was phenomenal. Yeah.
I'm so great. I had severe FOMO this week, especially because you were doing it on a day that I'm very meeting heavy. I have like 8 or 7 meetings that day. And I was just like, I just want to be at the photo shoot. So we're already making plans
We
for
are.
our next photo shoot location. And I'll fly out.
And
to be
it's
there.
not in
It's
a
not in
crime-infested
Skid
area.
Row that we know, but actually we probably should research it.
Oh, we're
just
going to
to
get
be
the
safe.
address. And
It
I
better be
told
in the
her-
hills. I've been watching
is.
Selling Sunset. It's in the hills.
it's in Tarzana, which is like,
Oh,
yeah, which is not
it's a
Hollywood
little
Hills.
further, but
It's a little, oh, listen to you, you know your places. It's
kinda
not,
know.
but it's looks amazing. I sent him a note to see if we can rent it.
did?
Of course I did. I manifest. And I already told Megan that this was going down and she said she was in. So
oh my gosh. Yes.
yes. Behind the scenes for you, what's been going on? That was what went on for me this week.
Yeah. We still have a contractor here. I'm sure you guys can hear some fun noises. We're getting all our trim, like around the windows, doors, closets, all of that stuff should be done, I think, this week.
Nice.
So that's been fun. And it just looks so good. Like it literally elevated our house.
Are you gonna like show us before and afters or anything?
I post some on my Instagram, but I haven't done it of the trim because I don't know. I didn't really think about it, but we've done a lot. We did all new floors. We've done all new appliances. We've done all new light fixtures, sinks and faucet thingies, just like knobs and stuff.
Yeah.
And now
Did
all
your
new trim, all new
mailbox-
bathroom.
Is your mailbox up or down?
My mailbox is up. Yes. Shout out
Good.
to my stepdad. I texted him. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like the pole's kind of bent to the side, but the ground is frozen. We live in Michigan. Like, how do you get a new mailbox in? So he came over, chiseled off like the top, and then put a new one up for us. And we
Aw.
got mail.
Sweet dad. Thank you, stepdad. That's so good.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing.
That made me feel better. And a fun thing this weekend, my best friend is like 6.5 months pregnant and we're going to her baby shower this weekend. So I'm
Aw.
excited.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
So fun. Don't get baby fever.
No more. No.
2's enough.
2's enough and I can't have any more. So like literally, if I get the fever, nothing's going to happen of it. I guess I could adopt one.
Adopt. Yeah, there's
could.
still a way. You could.
I'll end up with another dog.
No more animals in your house either. You were done for now.
Yeah, we're done until
Don't say it.
we won't say it.
Until you're ready
You
for
know.
another one. How about that?
Yes.
There you go. There we go. Awesome. Well, you guys, thank you so much for being here. We cannot wait to see you at the summit live. Don't miss that. In the meantime, you're not ahead. You're not behind. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. And we'll see you next week for another episode of Roxtalks. Take care. Bye.